How you doing, folks? I want to kind of go over like a couple different things, kind of put them together, so that way I'm covering a little bit more ground. First subject is on shooting style, whether to choose split finger or 3-under for beginners. I shoot split finger. I can shoot 3-under. I've shot both, but when it comes to hunting or anything, I prefer split finger, so I just shoot split finger all the way around. And for somebody that don't know, I will show you from just give you a visual what they are. Most people about all the people that's been in it a while know. Split finger is where you got your index finger over and 2 fingers under. So when you draw, you can kind of see there, but 3-under would be all 3 fingers under the nock, like so. So which will put it more closer to your eye. Some people prefer 3-under over split finger because of accuracy. They think it's more accurate. The best way I can tell you is if you're starting out, I would try both of them. Shoot one and shoot the other and see which one is most comfortable. The accuracy part of it, depends on the archer. If you're not comfortable, if it feels awkward, whether you shoot split finger, if it feels awkward, then try 3-under and see if that clears that up. The main thing is to find what you're going to like and you're going to enjoy shooting. It doesn't really matter. It's not one's got more of an advantage over another. One is more accurate than another. That's not the case. It's just a personal preference, basically, and that's the only best way I can tell you. Nobody can really say. I mean, if I shot both of them to a target, it's only a 1-point difference. I mean, it's not enough change for me to even, if it was like 20-30 point difference from 3-under to split finger, then yeah, I would be shooting 3-under. But a lot of your bows, like this bow I have here, which I'll be doing a review on it, is tailored for split finger. So you can shoot at 3-under, it's just going to be a lot louder as far as that. But just like I say, it's a personal preference, whatever's comfortable. I would choose what's comfortable to you, and if you're comfortable, you're going to shoot good. You just don't want to be feeling like you're awkward or anything else like that. That's why they have, I mean, these two styles have been around for a while. I think the thumb release has been around longer than that, but I don't shoot with a thumb because most 3D shoots or any type of competition ain't gonna let you shoot that way. It's either 3-under or split finger. I don't see why they wouldn't let you shoot that way, but I can kind of show you what that is in case you. So if you had a arrow on, let me get an arrow on. At least you get a view of it. This is on the same side of the bow, but normally if you're going to shoot that way, it's going to be on the opposite side of the bow because the way your thumb locks in, you lock your thumb there, pull back. I mean, you can pull back as far as you can. This is a little bit heavier bow to do it with, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. I tried messing with it. You have to, if you're going to shoot it on the same side of the bow, you got to come down. But this video is a little bit more about split finger or 3-under. That's what most people are going to choose. But other than that, once you get that figured out, then you can kind of move on to setting up your foundation, your form. The best way I can explain it to you is break it down. I'm gonna break it down in like a bunch of different little parts. Your grip will be your first part, so you got to get your grip into holding your bow the way it's comfortable or the way the bow likes to shoot it. So you'll have to do a little bit of shooting, but then your draw hand, where you draw the bow, where you anchor. Your anchor points could be, I would choose something that's more solid. The corner of your mouth tends to move a lot more, so which will give you more of an inconsistency, which I can show you that too. Because I draw back, I hit the corner of my mouth here, you can see my skin move, but if I got my eye tooth here, which it sticks out, you can't really tell here, but I can feel it, so I can get here right behind it, and I'm dead solid all the time. And it's the same, it gives me the same draw length as as everything else. As long as my head is in the same position, head position. I mean, make sure, you know, your head is in the same position when you draw. And then getting into back tension. You need to be drawing with your back, not your shoulders and arms. You start drawing with shoulders and arms and trying to pull back, you know, try to go back this way instead of back towards you. It'll help you engage your back muscles. And another problem that archers do with their string hand is, what I do, I get to my first digits in my fingers. You can see the first digit right there, that line. I'll just lay it on the bow, I'll get started, and I'll loosen it up. You can kind of see where I start, and I'll just kind of loosen it up, and it'll stay in there. Thicker glove, if you got softer fingers, you know, where they're not as tough, a thicker glove will help with that. As long as you hit the same point every time, it'll make a crease in it to where you can put your fingers on the bowstring the same way every time. It'll fall into the same place. I did that for a long time, which I kind of went back to a glove, which I'll show you. Back to a glove, and you kind of see where that string's been. Oh, we'll get the middle one in. And you can kind of see, if I can hold that middle one up, which it is not wanting to cooperate, but you can see where that string's been on all three fingers. So when I put it there, it's there the same way every time. I kind of went back to this glove, how I got started. Really like this glove, so they're pretty cheap. I ain't got to worry about spending 40, 50 bucks on a glove. It's like a $15 glove. And that's, again, personal preference glove or tab, just same way with shooting. And we'll hit that too here at the end of this. After you get your anchor points figured out, I would find something that is solid, not movable, like the corner of your mouth. I mean, you can stick that middle finger in there, pull, and it's not going to give you, you're going to have all different kind of different draw lengths, which is going to make inconsistencies in your shot. Then you move on to back tension and your hold time. Hold time you're going to experiment with. Not everybody can concentrate for 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I think the ideal hold time is 2 seconds for most people. Is a good hold time from what a lot of coaches will have you do, but some people just cannot concentrate that long. You'll have to determine that and experiment with that with yourself. I'm roughly right around a second. Sometimes 2 seconds I can hold, but normally it's right around a second, second and a half a second. It just depends, but most of the time it's going to be right around that 1 second mark for me. And that's how I shoot the best. And that may change over a little bit of time, but you know, when you get back after that, your hold time, then you release. Then, you release, you just want a little bit of get your back tension engaged in it, and you're just going to relax, and the string's going to come out, and your follow through is your last little bit, so that way your bow arm is not moving side to side, down or up. That will cause you issues. So to learn all that, I mean, you ain't got to have a great deal of distance, and you can really do it at 3 to 5 yards. And it's just basically, once you figure out your grip, how you place it on the bow, you just following everything that you see that you have started with, and see it how consistent it is. And you may have to change your anchor point, add an anchor point. Sometimes I'll use my thumb. Actually, about all the time, I'll stick it in my ear, so when I'm back here, I can feel it. I can feel another anchor point. You can use feathers. You can pull your feathers back a little bit more on the shaft to where it will hit your nose. And the best way to do is kind of video yourself to find out where you naturally draw to, because everybody's body, when it comes to this, to form, everybody has different flexibilities, different body build of their body. Some are bigger, some are more muscle bound than others. They're not as flexible, so you'll have to, it takes a lot of time to it takes a little bit of time to figure that out, but once you get everything figured out, it takes about a couple hundred to a few hundred shots to really get it ingrained in your head. I would do that before you go out and shoot a target, so that way you're eliminating some bad habits. I mean, you already done got, everything's been engraved ingrained in your mind to do it a certain way that's comfortable for you and that it seems to be consistent, you'll find out whether you're consistent enough or not, or because it'll be all over the place. But and another thing, do not start out overbowed. If you're overbowed, you're going to get more bad habits. That trying to figure out form than getting a bow that you can actually handle and get back to where it's comfortable for you and learn it, because that's a thing to where a lot of people say, well, it'll just get out of my fingers faster, but over time, when you can't shoot a heavier bow, you can go down to a lower weight bow, you're not going to be able to shoot as good because you're relying on that string just to leave real quick. Learn how to shoot your bow is the best advice I can give you. All my videos are nothing but opinions and a starting point to help you get over that learning curve. It's not an absolute written in stone, but the only things I don't change on is follow through. If you're plucking away or trying to pull away and release it at the same time, it's going, especially for a recurve, it will throw your shot way off because of the different oscillation, release, different direction the way the string's going. It's trying to come back straight, and it's just going to throw your arrows everywhere. So make sure when you release on your follow through, you got your back tension and you're just releasing right here. You want to release in the plane of the arrow. Sometimes I catch myself doing this crap and I find out my arrows are hitting left, right, up, down, all kind of crazy crap. My bow arm dropping or moving out before the arrow leaves. I mean, just a slight movement at 35, 40 yards is going to throw you off the target a lot of times. And once you get your form established and you're doing the same thing every time, then you can take that stuff outside and start learning distance. So by going ahead and instead of trying to learn distance and your form at the same time, I just learned the form, how you're going to shoot the best at, and do it consistently, then take it outside, because you're automatically going to do that regardless how you draw, how you place your hand on the bow. You're going to do that the same way after a few hundred shots. So if you would go ahead and learn that first, get your foundation set, because if you go to any type of coach, first thing they're looking at is your form. If they need to fix anything in your form, they're going to fix it before they take you out and shoot. Any distance, anything, and they're going to have you follow the same thing that they structured you as inside close range. Then they're going to take you outside and help you with the longer stuff, longer ranges, 10, 15, 20, 25, 28 yards, whatever. They're going to actually start you closer, get your form established where you're doing everything the same way every time. Then it results out there on the range, more consistency in hitting your target. So this traditional archery is fun. Even when I first started out, I couldn't hardly hit nothing with it, but it was real fun. But after a little while, nobody wants to miss their target all the time. Then it gets to be where it ain't fun. It starts to be a little bit more hard on you, mentally. So just by getting your form established is going to help you, and doing it close range is going to help you more when you get out there learning yardage, and it just make that process go a lot faster. So I didn't do it that way when I started out, but hindsight's better than foresight. But I got my Bob Lee actually finally tuned. It took me a while because I got kind of a little frustrated with it, so I just put it up, and I had some nerve issues in my back, up in my spine, in my neck, and all that, and it started radiating down on my shoulder. So I started shooting my longbow, which is a little bit more easier bow to shoot, but it's a heavier poundage. But I bought this other longbow that I'm going to do a review on, and some other things here later, and that kind of helped me with less par form. I can, as long as I'm doing the same thing, then pretty much I can hit my target. And other than that, then after you get that established, you just got to figure out a glove or tab That's personal preference again. I'm not going to sit there, and there's a lot of other videos on it. I think Archery 101 has done one on it, on a glove or a tab. It's just basically down to a personal preference. It's just what you like. I know a tab during the summertime is ideal when it's hot. Your hand's not going to get as sweaty. In a glove, your fingers are going to get sweaty, and all that. And having the right fit is going to help you. I usually like a glove that's a little bit tighter, and it'll stretch out over time, but it fits my fingers a little better. And I think the glove that I showed you is a large in it. Extra large is a little too big because my fingers are kind of in between. So I got shorter fingers but wider fingers. So a large, the next size down from the extra large, fits a lot better, a lot tighter. So after I break it in, it feels just fine. Other than that, I hope the main thing is to get your form down, figure out what style you're going to shoot, and everything. Just make sure you're doing everything consistently and learn it at a short distance over time. It might take a few hundred shots, however long it takes to get a few hundred shots. Just as long as you're doing the same thing every time, then you take it out and you'll find out whether it's working for you or not. So get your form established. It's a good foundation. You might as well, if you're starting out, go ahead and set up your foundation, set it up to where you're consistent inside close range, then take it out, and you'll start developing a little bit faster outside when you start learning yardages. So if you want to learn yardages, I got a video called Walk Back Practice. That's what I would refer you to go back and look, which I got to clean up my channel a little bit, put them in playlists so they're easier to find. I'll be working on that here in the next week, and try to get all that cleaned up where everything's easier to find for you. So I hope y'all have a great day. Hope the video helps you. This video can help not just new archers, it can help older archers also. It's not just limited to beginners, but I'm trying to do more videos on beginning archers. So this stuff here I do right now with this Bob Lee that I have, and try to get doing the same thing every time to get myself a little bit more consistent. So have a great day, and God bless.